So, I was supposed to do a Big Brother stream tonight, but my laptop is just dead now. It just had a heart attack and died. And this is the second laptop now that has died on me in a year. Second one I have bought and has died on me in 1 year. It is a joke that this is happening to me. But I am determined to talk about Big Brother, so I am going to talk about Big Brother while I play Red Dead Redemption 2. It's not ideal, but it's what I gotta do. Oh my god, I forgot to get myself a drink before I started. Alright, well, as soon as the game actually starts, I'm gonna pause it. Yeah, I already started and stopped because I forgot to change the names. This is what happens when nonsense infests my life. I do everything out of order. I can't believe 2 laptops have died on me in 1 year. I've bought 2 laptops in 1 year, and they've both died. Let me just get into the game, and then I'm going to get my drink, and then I'll properly get started talking about stuff. This is the second week in a row that there's been a lot going on, and yet something has happened in my life, or there's been too much going on in my life that I haven't been able to stream the way I wanted. It's just ridiculous. Okay, I'm back. Let's do this. So, let's talk about Big Brother now. Well, the first thing I want to point out is that this is the 3rd straight week of HOHs limiting their options. They just... With all these people to choose from in the house, they've made so many alliances that it was already down to, like, who am I going to nominate? And Xavier, he had himself narrowed down to 3 already.
Hey, Arthur.
And I'm just wondering, what happens when they're down to just their own alliances? What are they going to do about it? How are they going to target each other?
Yeah. So, tell me.
I'm not going to talk during cutscenes.
Jacobites are English lovers, Arthur.
My people were peasants. We had no time for politics.
My dad would say that no politics was politics.
That old world bullshit, it ain't got no place here.
Why? Because there ain't no judgment here. Most folks hate the Negroes, they hate the Redskins, the Jews, even us Irish. You ain't so free of politics.
I hate everyone just the same.
Well, in that case,
How
you're gonna
woke,
want
Arthur.
what I just found for us.
What's that?
I was riding around a couple of days back. I come across this old cabin. Couple of fuckers lazing about outside all liquored up. I didn't think nothing of it. But then I come across this hunter down by the river. He tells me they're a stick-up crew. Says they hit a train
So,
a couple of days back
yeah,
near
I found it so
Ranch.
weird that, like,
It's
the
filled
same
with
thing
all
happened
shit
under
of
Frenchie's
bottles.
HOH,
Get it off the
where
bastard blind.
he just wanted to target the
Oh, he's
meatheads,
not
and then
then.
he
If he's right,
didn't,
it'll be a
really,
big haul for us.
until he
Saw three
finally...
of them, maybe more.
I was about to say
reckon you and
backdoored
me
Travis, but he
take
didn't
it
really.
real easy.
There's not really a term for when, like,
the
someone
hell?
does compete in the
Check it
veto
out.
when they're not
Them sons of
nominated, but they're,
bitches
like,
think they're
the
mean.
backup target.
They're about to get a lesson in mean.
Side door,
You
I
just
guess, is
keep
that a
your
thing?
cool, you hear me?
Anyway, like, Frenchie narrowed himself down in that regard,
Okay, girl.
to the point where he
let's
went
do
back
this.
on his word. And then Kylan's HOH, he had so few options, like it was Frenchie, and then it was either Brittany or Derek X, even though Derek X just used the veto on him.
How far
So
is
I
this
was
place?
just, like, not sure.
been
Like, is he
alright,
just gonna
not too bad.
put Derek X
That's up
up just
north
because
of
he's not
Fletch.
officially
Not
aligned
far
with
from
him?
the state line.
Or is he just gonna
Alright.
put Brittany up because he's not really aligned with her?
So, what were you doing riding around up there anyway?
Sniffing around.
And now,
looking for the
of
tape.
course, we got Xavier.
Got a long nose for these things.
His
Dutch
HOH
is
has
always
consisted
nervous to
of,
get out
like...
there and bring in money, ain't he?
Okay, alright, I'm gonna go for
So,
Brent, but who's gonna be with him?
Hey, like
Do I just
some
do
others
Brittany
back
again,
there,
because I
sitting
don't really
around waiting to
talk
be
to her too
told,
much?
I go
Or do
after
I do
them.
Whitney,
I
because
see you sitting around
Brent's close to her?
I mean,
Even though Whitney's not really close to him.
Dutch knows my value to the cause. As from the moment I met him.
You tried to kill him, if I remember the story right.
So, I'm just wondering what happens when they run out of people to target.
I'm sure. Dutch is good at seeing
And,
things in people. And while we're talking about
Also,
money,
on
you
Sunday
are
night's episode, we
clear
got
how
to
this
see
works.
the competition in
We
full.
split half, other half goes to the gang. Dutch keeps all our savings hidden.
Sorry,
in a safe spot
I got
outside
wrapped
town.
up in
Yeah,
Arthur
I know.
for a second there.
How many times
But,
you have to tell me? What's that box
Yeah, we saw
place
in
meant for?
Sunday's episode, the wild card
Camp
competition,
funds,
like,
supplies and the like.
they really
In
ganged up
fact, you
on
don't
Brittany,
know that,
except they
suggests
didn't.
you clearly ain't put
Because
much
Brittany
in it.
could have taken
I
out
know
Derek X.
anyway, don't you worry.
You're sure you scoped this
Like,
place
she
out right?
had his number,
Yes,
literally.
see?
The number that could have
That's
taken him
why
out
I
of the
wanted you along
competition.
for this. You're
And
still
then she would have had a
devil.
fair shot against
I ain't
Whitney.
just some dumb kid.
I mean,
I've lived
Tiffany.
A lifetime of shit already.
And you sure don't keep it bottled up inside.
What about that train job with the oil wagon? Made a good show in there, didn't I?
You got knocked out.
Ah, that's what you choose to remember. We got paid. We got out of there.
Got knocked out in
And,
Blackwater,
like,
too,
I
didn't
do have some sympathy, like, for
Yeah, that was
Brittany
bloody chaos.
in her situation
Did you
that
get
she was
split
in,
off with
but
Max?
Nope, didn't see him.
it does
I lost
feel
his
like
voice at some
she
point when he was getting out of town.
could have prepared herself a little
They
more for
caught
the
up
emotions
with
that
Mac
would come
a
from
couple
Big
of
Brother.
days after. Davey was finished by the time we got up the mountains. Jenny didn't even make it that
And
far.
Brent,
Old
like, the
Mountie
delusion
overstrung me up.
set
Made
in
me
hard
dirty,
with
tore me
him.
feet.
And, like, I saw someone say he was like a,
Good.
And it's time folks stopped
he was
giving
like
Dutch
an
hard time
SNL
with all
parody
that
of
Blackwater
a Big
business,
Brother
if you ask
player.
me.
I'm gonna take it one
Man's not a
further.
fortune
He's like
teller.
an Adam
You can
ruins
plan, you can
everything
use your
parody
head.
of a Big Brother
You never
character.
really know what you're walking
Big Brother
into.
player, I mean.
Yep. Folks
I mean, he is
always
just so
wanna blame
delusional
someone
and
when
in
things
love with
go
himself. And it's kind of funny, but also extremely sad and
wrong.
annoying.
How far is it now?
Not too much further.
Better be worth it.
Hey, you
And
need this
just,
after.
like, tonight, everything he was saying, like in tonight's episode,
Hard left coming
everything
up.
he was saying, and like in the DRs,
All right.
it was amazing.
Up ahead.
it made for such great TV. Like, I was just laughing so much because of how delusional he was.
Up here, Morgan.
Of course, Frenchie's back on Twitter now, so he's like, "Are you all bored yet?" And I'm just like, "No, this is way more exciting." Because Brent is way more delusional than Frenchie ever was. As terrifying a concept as that is.
I want them to hear us coming. Here, I'll deal with them. Let's make sure we keep one of them alive to tell us where they stashed the money.
Hope you know what you're doing.
Oh, I don't want this gun. I don't have enough ammo.
You'll get a move on.
Shut up. I'm getting a new gun. There we go.
What do you do back there?
Don't worry about it.
Come on, hurry up.
And, yeah, Brent, he's just so delusional, and I don't think I'm going to miss him too much tomorrow. Like, I won't miss him, but I might miss his delusion. But, like, if he stays tomorrow, then he'll be just proven right. And we don't want that.
Look, there's one of them outside. This is good.
It is?
Leave it to me. I'll do the talking. You hang back.
And, with Brent, like, he's basically a sure thing to go. It might even be unanimous tomorrow. But they've been talking about who's going to be next. And
Hey
one thing I
there!
took note of.
I'm gonna give you about 5 seconds to get the hell off my property, boy.
Look, I
And
don't want no trouble.
Whitney told Kyland that she wants Sarah Beth out pre-jury. Now, Kyland and Sarah Beth have been telling each other everything.
Where?
They've been like
Right here.
each other's confidant.
Heads up, Arthur. Here come the rest of them. Watch it! They're coming out! We got more coming out of the woods!
Oh my god. Big Brother Talk takes a break during shootouts.
Still got more inside! Come out with your hands up! Nice and easy! You saw what we did to your pals here!
So yeah, Whitney said that to Kyland.
Don't shoot.
She said, I think I'm gonna put up Sarah Beth,
If you want to leave,
His
you'll
closest
tell me where
ally.
that money's stashed.
at least outside of the
All right,
cookout.
take it easy. Behind the wall in the bedrooms, if you stick your hand between the gap.
Alright, you go grab the money. I'll keep an eye on Sunshine here. You know what? Just get the hell out of here. And don't look back.
So, yeah, sorry. Whitney might have made herself a target by saying that.
Here we are.
But that was a few days ago, and honestly, I kind of forgot about it until I looked at my my notes.
Why don't you see what else you can find, Sean?
Told you we take him, no problem, didn't I?
You did good. Let's see what the pay is first.
Dug this up all by myself. A proper lead.
All right, all right.
You heard him, right? He said the stash was behind a loose board in the bedroom.
I'm getting to it.
You find anything yet? Don't want to overstay our welcome, do we?
So Brent has just been going on and on for days about how confident he is he has the votes to stay. Like, he knows that he's
This is more like it.
Xavier's target, but he's so delusional and narcissistic that he's like,
All right.
I know I have the
here,
votes to stay,
but
and
don't
he's
forget to give the
thinking it might even be
candidates
unanimous for him to stay.
by magic, you know.
All right.
And
don't need to lecture
it's just insane.
Back at camp. Never know what folks got stashed. There's gotta be other places out there like this.
Oh, money clip. Thank you. Whoa, I just got a trophy. I haven't got one of those in a while. Breaking and entering. Recover the stash from 4 homesteads. I probably should have got that one by now. That doesn't seem very hard to get. So, Derek X and Kyland were talking, and Derek X said that Hannah should make jury, and that made me happy because, you know, I want her there, and I like her, and I love her and Derek X together. And he and Kylan think that Ozza should make jury too, because they think she'd vote against Tiffany because they're still kind of on the outs with each other. And that is a fair point, I guess. And there was something on the BB updates page. It was talking about like Brent and his, you know, he's just being delusional again. and like the official CBS Twitter responded and saying, "So, how do we feel about Brent?" Like that is the ultimate shade, and I loved it. Like the network is like joining in to pick on him. He was just gloating about how safe he was, and they were just like, "So none of us like Brent apparently," and nah, we really don't. There was one more guy over here. So Tiffany and Kylan were talking, and they were saying they're like already willing to let go of Claire, who's their team captain for the Queens. And I'm like, dang,
Hey there.
already? Like, they don't even really have to yet. I mean, they're not saying like we're gonna work to get her out. Like, it's not a Brent situation where the whole team is conspiring.
Easy now.
But I just found that kind of curious, how willing they are to let her go. And I get it, she's not in the cookout, but still. Where am I going next? Oh.
Yep.
Is this the guy I think it is? It is.
Bother. What the devil are you looking at?
I'm sorry.
So,
No,
yeah, Claire
I'm
joins
sorry.
them when they were talking about
I'm
that,
ruined.
and they suggest
Ruined.
that Whitney
How
should
so?
win HOH to take the shot
It's
at
a
Christian and
disaster.
Alyssa. And then Tiff says
Who
to
wants
Claire
to
that
see a woman
Kylan
wrangle
has trouble
wild
listening to
animals?
other
Who
people's
doesn't have any
ideas.
bloody wild
And that's just kind of telling me
Come
that
to America,
Tiffany,
they
she's
said.
like,
Come to
just
the land of opportunity, they said.
she's like
Sod you, Daddy,
playing
I said.
chess.
I'm
She's
going
just
to
trying to
America
like get
to make it
everyone
on the stage.
against each other.
I didn't want to be in
And
the army.
it's pretty
Now look at
impressive,
me. The old git
honestly,
will have a
like the
field
way
day.
that she's
I didn't really understand
she's
any of
playing,
that.
I
and
had an act.
I really enjoy it,
Bravest
actually.
woman in the world. The animal wrangler. Watch her tame wild
Derek
beasts.
F. Now, he surprised me.
You
He
were-
said that if he won
Of course
HOH,
I
he
was
would
the bloody
nominate
woman,
some
not the
combination of
It's the
Christian,
stage.
Alyssa,
Whispering,
and Whitney.
tears.
And I'm
no one
like,
wants to see a man wrangling
okay.
wild animals, and no one
I'm like,
wants to see a
I
woman
have thought
wrangling
Derek F
nothing.
has been flopping for a while,
Can I
but
borrow your gun? I want
if
to
that's
shoot
what he
myself.
decides to
You
do,
see,
if he wins
I'm
HOH, then okay, sure.
My animals, they
I would not be
escaped,
mad at
and now
that.
I'm buggered.
What escaped?
A priceless Ranjaniki tiger from the slopes of the Hindu Heights. A fantastic, elusive zebra from the plains of Ongo Bongo by the shores of the Limpopo. And a magnificent lion from the grasslands of Tanganyika.
Yeah, I see your problem. They're pretty hard to come by around here.
Listen, friend, help a fellow out, would you? I'm beyond desperate. If you see any of them, can you bring them back here?
If I see a tiger or a lion or a zebra.
Now, Christian and Alyssa, they
Exactly.
intrigued me
Well, I
with
believe the
their
zebra's up near Larned's Swamp.
strategy.
Distinctive creature that he is. I'll make it worth your while.
All right, madam.
They want to make
Bloody
several
Margaret,
Final
madam.
Four deals with like different groups of people.
Margaret.
And
Mistress of
that
fucking danger.
could really backfire on them. Like, if they compare notes, they're screwed. They're good and truly screwed. If anyone that they try to make all these Final Four deals with try to, like, if they figure it out. And then, I was thinking either Christian or Alyssa would be pre-jury. I didn't think both of them would be, but if this is the route they decide to go, I think they could both be pre-jury, because that is very risky, and it could very easily backfire. And, you know, if they both go pre-jury, then they can still be a couple outside the house. They won't be like Shelly and Clay in BB-17, I suppose. But yeah, just Christian and Alyssa, they're too all over each other to be making any sort of interesting gameplay moves or saying any interesting gameplay ideas. Alright. We're off to catch a zebra for this guy. Don't think I'm not paying attention to what's going on in this game. There's some nonsense going on.
Yeah.
Sarah Beth. This is one I wanted to talk about. Because she says that if she won HOH, her nominees would be Whitney and Hannah. And her target would be Hannah. And there was that part of me that was just kind of devastated to hear that because, you know, I know my targets, I mean, my favorites have to target my other favorites eventually, but I was hoping it would take a little longer before that started to happen. But Sarah Beth wants to target Hannah. And, you know, here's the thing. Do I want it to happen? No. At least not now. But look, there's a right way and a wrong way to do it. Like, if Sarah Beth does it in a clean, respectful, purely gameplay way, then I will respect the move. You know, she's saying, like, Hannah doesn't talk much game with her. She doesn't know where her head's at. And that's a valid reason to want to nominate someone. It is. I get that. But still, I just feel like Sarah Beth and Hannah could have been quite an interesting duo, but
Easy, whoa.
doesn't seem as though either one is interested in making that happen. At least that's what I thought when I read that
Look
update.
here. What they done to you?
Companion updated mule, because it's not a zebra. It's a mule painted like a zebra.
Got you. Hey, now. You idiot. Easy.
Now, Sarah Beth tells her nominees to Kyland. And, of course, Kyland is looking out for Hannah. Kyland is, like, under the assumption that Hannah is part of the cookout. Which is another topic I want to talk about, but we'll get to that later. He's trying to, like, steer her back to Whitney, if I recall correctly, but, she's like, no, I think Hannah's the move.
Come here.
And, you know, it's not ideal, but it's fair play. Well, at least it should be fair play. I haven't seen Sarah Beth say anything that would lead me to believe that she's, like, just secretly super mean and bullying, or outright problematic. So, I think it'd be done, at least in a mature, gameplay-driven way. This donkey making noises is annoying me. But I got it back at least.
Good grief! You found him! Our zebra!
Well, you can call him that.
Tiffany and Ozza, their feud. It's been going on for days now, and
You're missing the point, aren't you?
it doesn't seem to be any end in sight. And I'm worried that it's going to mark the end of the cookout.
Could we?
As far as the actual debate goes, I am like 90% on Tiffany's side.
No one will pay for
Like,
the
I feel
truth.
like maybe
They only pay for deception.
Tiffany could have a little more patience with Ozza, but at the same time, Ozza is being very stubborn, and Tiffany's being very stubborn, but
What
Ozza
the
is,
great
like,
conjuring
being
trick? Lassoing some
more
poor
stubborn, in my
beast
opinion,
on the
and,
plains of Mumbo
like,
Jumbo land and ship
Ozza
him here
just
so
doesn't
he can
seem
dance
to be...
the polka. Or
Her head
turn
doesn't seem to be fully in the
there
game just yet,
in the glare of those
and it's
arc lamps.
kind of
Something
disappointing.
mundane into something extraordinary.
And,
It's the difference between prose and poetry. It's alchemy. We're selling dreams,
Ozza,
dear boy.
Well, as long as you don't pay me with tickets to your show.
Yes. Well, it's not
so
everyone's
Ozza
duty.
said
Speaking
that
of my
she,
Of course,
basically
of
slipped
course.
up
I shall make
when
it
she
worth
told
it. But,
Hannah about the
first,
cookout, like, told her the
we shall
name,
need the whole
because Hannah didn't know the
menagerie
name,
back before we
apparently.
can think about that.
Even though, like, on
My
tonight's episode, we
assistant's
saw
gone for the
Hannah
tiger.
just saying to,
Yes, and
it
taken
was
our remaining
Ozza,
life
Derek
interest
F.,
in
and I think Tiffany,
They're down there on
that, like,
Calico Way.
she was
Please.
loyal to
I
them,
hate to ask.
and, like,
All right, I'll see what I can.
Xavier and Kyland were, like, included in that. Like, they were just sort of lumped into the conversation. So I don't get why Ozza's saying that she slipped up. And, well, I mean, I do kind of get it, because, look, Hannah is biracial. She's black and she's Indian. And I have heard of many people throughout history, many biracial people who don't feel accepted by either of their races. And, like, I think that's wrong. Okay?
Yeah.
So for Ozza to just, like, Ozza has been totally excluding Hannah from the cookout. Like, she just keeps saying it's 5. Like, she says 5 a lot, not 6. 5. And it's so... It's basically like a microaggression, honestly. And it's why, like, Ozza's not one of my favorite people on this show anymore. She hasn't plunged to the bottom yet, but she's... I don't see her returning to the top of the daily polls anytime soon, because she's... I don't know. It's just not a good look. I don't appreciate it. I find it very disrespectful. At the very least, it's disrespectful. It may even go deeper than that, and Ozza is actually being somewhat prejudiced against Hannah because she's biracial. I hope that's not the case, but you know, it's crossed my mind. So yeah, that's what I wanted to say about Ozza and how she's
Don't do this to us.
letting me down.
Hey, mister.
Oh,
Miss.
howdy, mister.
Did you lose a tiger?
Yeah, you found one?
Nah, I found your caravan down the way. Margaret said that you might need a hand.
Oh, you weren't wrong. That tiger's missing. I sent our best lion out to find him, and
Lion.
now he's missing too. It is a right old predicament.
You're lying.
Of course, the zebra just turned out to be a mule, so I was just like,
Valentine, I think.
it's probably
He
not
might be more of a
actually a
kind of
tiger
dog
or
than
actually a lion.
But in a certain light, a feller could never tell.
Of course. Which way to go?
Into them shrubs over there.
Okay. Why don't you hop up on the wagon and I'll see if I can find his track.
Okay. That first shrubs, that's where I lost sight of it.
I got it. Got the trail. These are paw prints.
I'm gonna move this wagon up.
paint this dog? There's some pigment here. Looks like blood to me. Shit. What's this? Oh, darn. I found your dog. Ex-dog, ex-lion.
Hey, boy! Oh, where's the rest of them?
I think a cougar took it.
Where's the rest of them?
Happy Stripey. And I always thought they got along.
Your tiger is a wild cat?
Uh-huh.
What else?
So, another thing
Oh,
Whitney
yes,
did that
sir.
possibly
She's our star attraction.
endangered herself.
Well,
She told Xavier that
wants
she's
the other
worried
half
about
of his dinner.
Kyland.
The other half? Really?
I'm gonna put him in your wagon. You find somewhere to hide.
This is so sad. I feel bad for this dog.
Well, behind that log, then.
Okay?
But yeah, Whitney tells Xavier she's worried about Kyland. And
Rubs
it's
up.
like... It's another instance of her
Stay down. She won't be too far.
saying
Come quick.
who her target is.
I went out to find a tiger,
And
Cougar, you mean?
and I
telling
ended up
that to
losing a lion.
her target's
Yeah, dog.
ally.
Not having any luck.
So,
Well, if
she could
that's
very
what
well
you're dealing with,
be next.
You didn't have any luck
If
to begin with.
the aces don't
Cougars
win
and
HOH.
dogs.
Hey, it ain't what you got in this life. It's what you
I think,
make of it.
I think
Well, that's
Whitney and
very
Hannah are
wise
going
of you.
for it. Derek X, I'm not so
Especially
sure,
when you're lacking
but I hope he does.
zebras and tigers.
Although he may just not want to have another
Keep your head
competition
down. It's coming.
win over his head.
I really don't think she'll eat the dog. Like I said, they was friends.
Shut it.
Oh, I guess she's real hungry.
She's feral. I'm locking her in.
Hurry up. Close it. That's a cougar.
Sorry, girl. All right. Let's go.
We got her. Okay.
Now, Xavier had said
And I'll
before,
keep an eye on her.
Sure thing.
okay, so Xavier, she also told Xavier that she would, put up Sarah Beth
Let's
as
get
a
her back
pawn.
to Mr. Margaret.
And Xavier has been wanting to
She's
protect
still eating.
Hannah.
I would've
Like, he
thought,
knows she's been targeted.
since they was close and all.
She's being targeted. And
Wild
he was
creatures
trying to think of a way to
turn
try
on
and
each other.
protect her. So, if he tells Sarah Beth that Whitney wants to nominate her if she wins HOH, then that could
I mean,
get
I should know.
Sarah Beth to stop targeting Hannah, at least for the time
Is that
being.
right?
So, that would be a good move for him. And I hope that he does that.
Myself,
Sally Nash.
Arthur Morgan.
Nice to meet you, sir.
Tell me, Miss Nash, how you end up in this racket?
I guess it's
And,
always been my
we have a couple of...
mission, you know?
Oh,
Wild beasts and the like.
we have a couple
Mr.
of final
Margaret, we
twos.
got to talking, and
Like,
you can probably
just
tell who's
recently,
the
like the
opposite
last
aces
hour or
ways.
so. Last hour or two.
All right.
It's my modest hope. One day,
Claire and Tiffany,
the world's
they've
second
decided on a
greatest woman animal
on a
wrangler.
final two. What is that on the map that I'm seeing? I see something on the map. I don't know what it
I'd
is.
say you got that sewn up and then some.
You think? I hope
I don't
so.
know. I'm not gonna.
Top 5 at least. Depends on how many more
I'm just not gonna
feathers
deal
her
with it
bear
right
hat
now.
ring.
maybe one of these days, the best female for the job will actually be a
So yeah,
female.
Tiffany and Claire
Oh, I
are
don't know if that
a
will
final
ever
two, and they
happen.
call themselves Snake Eyes. And I don't know. I don't know how I feel about a final two having a name, but you know, whatever. You do you,
We
ladies.
lost the main road around here when the dust was up.
And also,
Be careful, or you might
Derek
get
X
lost
and
too.
Hannah have officially made a final two
You
with
know,
each
the
other,
only thing
and
to do in a dust storm
you
is
know,
wait it out.
I'm
Mr.
rooting for them.
Margaret's
I'm
a lot of
hoping like
things,
that's
but
the thing that
best
pushes
trail
them
navigator ain't
a
one
little
of them.
bit closer
I imagine you're right about that.
to being
We was tearing round
a
here,
showmance. Oh boy, I
looking for any kind of landmark when over we go. Whole caravan toppled. Found each other and some shelter, but when the wind died down, the animals was gone. We'll lose an axle in this ground. And maybe an animal, too.
But now they're back. Some of them, at least.
Thanks to you.
You would have managed it yourself. I just helped you along.
If you ever want to get in the sideshow business, I'm sure there'd be a place for a fellow like you.
I'll leave the professional theatrics to better women than me.
There it is, the caravan.
Couldn't miss.
Aha!
oh
I see
I didn't mean
you
to cut him
found
off.
each other.
Sure did, Mr. Margaret.
Jolly good, jolly good.
You know, tarring and feathering a donkey is one thing.
I beg your pardon? It's grease.
I feel like
Makeup.
Playing
Hannah
dog
might be more
dress up
loyal
with
to a Derek
wild
X final two
animal, you're gonna want to be a
than
lot
to
more
the cookout
careful.
because like
King, Mr. Margaret.
Like, if
I saw
she-
her do it.
I always thought they got along.
Oh, she
realizes that
likes
the
me
cookout
just
was only
fine.
kind of
She licked her chops.
like she was only
after
kind of part of the
seconds.
cookout. She
Speaking
might
of which,
stick with
you
Derek
got any
X.
more word on that runaway
He might take
lion?
precedence.
You're gonna pay me for these
Precedent,
misfits.
whatever.
Look, I'm well aware that we're not Royal Command performance material. Daddy, you were right, goddamn you! But a cowbarn in Rhodes is hardly Drury Bloody Lane.
You got any word on the lion?
Yes, I've got word on the lion. Shit is the word. Someone saw him near Emerald Ranch. As you know, we're lately very short on lions. So, I'd be very grateful.
So yeah, that's
All kinds of grateful.
that's all the
There's
updates
only one
that I
kind of
had
grateful
written.
I care about.
I hope that I
So
can,
long, mister.
you know,
Be a dear and fix me a gin.
be able to do a proper update. I hope I get my laptop situation sorted because I really am not okay with having a second laptop die in me in a year. What, it's the second laptop I've bought in a year? So, yeah. But that'll do it for my Big Brother talks. So from here on out, I'm just gonna stick to Red Dead.